Hello everyone, it's time for another Dear Corinne letter. This one has to do with being a mom, and this is dear to everyone's hearts. Mothering can be such a difficult thing. So I'll just read the letter. It's short, and so we'll just get right to it. Dear Corinne, I've always wanted to be a mom, and my deepest desire is to do a good job as a mom. I always want to enjoy these short years that I have with my kids. I love my kids, and I'd never want to trade this life for anything else. I'm so grateful for it. At the same time, some days I just hate it here in my house, surrounded by nagging kids and messes. Lately, I've wondered if I really was made for this job, because shouldn't I be enjoying the thing I wanted most in life? Am I failing? Thanks, love, stressed mom. This is so real. I remember those days of being a stressed out mom. I remember hiding in the bathroom because I needed a moment of peace and quiet. And their little fingers would come under the door, Mom, Mom, Mom. And you do sometimes feel like you need adult conversation. You need, that is totally normal because it just feels they hand you their garbage and they expect you to throw it away for them, so you feel like the garbage can. And mothering is one of the most thankless jobs, and also one of the most important jobs. So no, first of all, you're not failing. You are a normal mom. You feel, most mothers out there, I would just venture to say, most mothers out there feel the same way, because changing diapers and cleaning up messes and being surrounded by, sticky, gooey fingers and toys strewn all over the place is not most people's idea of fun. And it's not pleasant to hear whining. And so there's nothing that says you have to enjoy that. Children, I've heard it said once that if you took a child and put it in an adult body and an adult behaved the way children do, like they take your stuff without asking and they, hand you their garbage, and that no one would put up with that. We wouldn't want to have roommates who do that. We wouldn't want to have a spouse who does that. But because there are children, we put up with it, and we're made to feel guilty if we don't put up with it. And I can read this in your letter, like, shouldn't I be enjoying the thing that I wanted most in life? I think if we break it down and ask, what is it that you love most about being a mother? So if I were in a session with you one-on-one, I would ask, when you thought about being a mother, what was it that you looked forward to the most? When you think about your children, when you're not in the middle of a mess, maybe when they're sleeping, what do you love most about each of them? And, you're going to have messes. You're going to feel like you're trapped inside the walls of your own home. That is totally normal. I have felt that way as well. And, it feels so monotonous, like cooking and cleaning and, changing diapers, changing clothes, putting on shoes, finding shoes, getting everyone in the car, getting everyone out of the car. It's just so, it's a lot. My sweet daughter-in-law says I'm living Groundhog Day, just the same over and over, and it can get so monotonous. So first of all, like I said before, you are not failing. Once I was struggling and I called my mother-in-law and I said, I just don't know what to do with this child. And she said, well, are you alive? Yes. Is the child alive? Yes. Then you've succeeded. So I really think that, that's your job, is really to keep them alive. If you want to look at it that way, like the bare level, keep them from harming themselves, or keep yourself from harming yourself, basically. And some days you just don't feel like you're very sane. So when you're stuck in that kind of monotony, so shouldn't you be enjoying it? Well, I'm sure that you have moments when you do enjoy it. And like I was saying before, what did you look forward to, and what wins have you had? Even just this week, maybe look at some of the wins that you've had as a mom. What did you do right? Are your children still alive? Are they fed? Are they clothed? Um, did you say anything nice to them at all? Then that's a win. Um, Getting them dressed is a win. Getting them, helping them get fed is a win. So, I, I mean, I hate to put it down to like, do the bare minimum, but seriously, some days that is great. That's like the most you can do because you're so exhausted and you're so like they try you to the very core. They push all your buttons and they are a challenge. Children are a challenge. And that's why some people choose not to have children because they don't want to have to deal with all of that. But like you said, it's something you want. You didn't necessarily want the nagging kids and the messes. Of course, nobody wants that. But that just goes with the package. Kids will nag and kids will make messes. And so I think one of the problems that we have sometimes, not just moms, but people in general, is that we try to have these shoulds. I should be doing this. This should be different. I should be enjoying it. This was even your question, shouldn't I be enjoying this? And that can really cause us a lot of pain, and it can take away the joy of whatever it is we're doing. Shouldn't I be doing this differently? And so I think if we can look at just what is, your house is going to be a mess sometimes, maybe all the time. Your kids are going to nag. So can you live with that? Can you find a way to just be okay with that that's going to happen? And I don't really know how you can get kids to not nag because they just do it. So that's one thing, just like accepting that, just looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, okay, kids are going to nag. It's just going to happen. And, what's the worst that could happen if the house is a mess? What's the worst that could happen? I mean, can you deal with that? Can you live with that? And then try to write down some things that you love about being a mom. Again, back to your why. Why did you become a mother? And what was it that you envisioned? And if you can maintain that and keep that higher purpose and that higher, the loving, snuggling, the reading of the stories, the playing games together, the, feeling like you belong and they belong and helping them to become independent people, and eventually they will, hopefully that can help with the stress. And maybe I wonder, how would you feel about asking for some help? Would that be something that you would be open to? I think a lot of times we as moms feel like we have to do it all ourselves, or we're not good moms. And then there's social media that can make us feel so bad about ourselves because it looks like everyone else is doing it perfectly and we are not. And so if we can let go of the perfectionism and just, is it possible to let go of it? And I would ask, is it possible for you to ask for help, to let go of perfectionism? Maybe that could help. And my biggest counsel is just hang in there and keep doing what you're doing. And you writing this letter is actually really awesome because it shows that you're willing to ask for help, because you just did. You wrote this letter, and that shows that you have humility and you're willing to learn, and you're not stuck in that perfectionism cycle. And I would venture to guess that you are a better mom than you think you are, and that you are doing a lot of things right. And so sometimes we don't see that because we're too close to it. But more power to you. Mothers have a very difficult and very important job. And I remember the days when my kids were little and how some days were just so overwhelming. And so you're just one day at a time, 1 minute at a time, one breath at a time. Remember to breathe. Remember, if you need to lock yourself in the bathroom to have some me time, get that lock and put it on the inside. I've had to do that many times, and that's okay. And you are completely normal, and we're all rooting for you. All of the moms out there want you to be successful. So thank you so much for writing in, and I am excited to hear from more of you, and hopefully, send in your letters. I'm excited to read them. Have a wonderful night.